Hey everyone, it's Melissa Hurt of Integrative Studio, here with another video to help you become clear, productive, and influential. In this video, I'm going to share with you how the connection between your pelvic floor and your breathing could be impacting your state of mind. There is a connection between your pelvic floor, how you breathe, and how you feel. Now, stick to the end because I'm going to be showing you some visuals that I'm just drawing myself to help you understand it. And I'm going to have some videos linked at the end of this video to help you take this understanding further. Now, if you are a person that is quick to anger or hostility or anxiety, it could be because your pelvic floor is tight. Now, here's why. Let me first explain the pelvic floor before I get into the mechanics of this. So this is a little drawing I've just done. These are your ribs, and this is your pelvis. Now, we all know about the breathing diaphragm, which is this beautiful dome muscle that is lining the underside of your ribs. And in here are your lungs and your heart. And as you breathe in, we know that the diaphragm goes down. And that it's that descent of the diaphragm that makes our belly and our sides and our back expand. But there's also a similar system of muscles lining the very bottom of your pelvis, and that's the pelvic floor. Your pelvic floor is literally why your internal organs don't just seep out through the holes that are at the bottom. Your pelvic floor is helping to hold you together. It's the bottom of a bucket, so to speak. And as you breathe in and this thoracic diaphragm goes down, the pelvic floor also goes down. So I'm going to draw some arrows to show this. So what we have here, get some black ink on here so we can really see it. As you breathe in, and that thoracic diaphragm descends, so too does the pelvic floor. Now, if your pelvic floor is tight, that pelvic floor is not going to be descending, meaning your breath might be staying in your chest, or you won't feel as much movement in your sides, front, and back. But why is that important? Well, this action of the thoracic diaphragm going down and the pelvic floor diaphragm going down, what that's doing is very important. We have all of our internal organs happening in between here. So we have stomach and liver and intestines. That beautiful mess is our internal organs. And they are contained in what's called the abdominal sac. And so as you breathe in and the thoracic diaphragm goes down and the pelvic floor goes down, that's giving a massage to all of these internal organs. And as you exhale, what do you think happens? You guessed it. As you exhale, the thoracic diaphragm goes back up. So too does the pelvic floor. So breathing in and out with the diaphragms really working together is massaging the internal organs, which is helping them work their best. But why is that important? What does that have to do with state of mind? Well, all of these internal organs here, the stomach, the liver, the kidneys, the intestines, the pancreas, all these beautiful, beautiful organs for us, they're processing nutrients out of all of our foods. They're detoxifying our bodies from what we consume, whether it's how we breathe, what we're eating, what we're drinking. Even our thoughts in some way create a biochemical response, and our organs are constantly working to keep us as balanced as possible. Now, if the massage cannot happen in these organs to their best extent, then we're going to have an imbalance and toxins, if you will, happening within the body. Also, a tight pelvic floor that doesn't want to move is going to mean all of these little holes at the bottom of the pelvis, mainly the anus, will be tight, and that can lead to constipation. A tight pelvic floor can also lead to urinary incontinence. So like you pee when you sneeze, have trouble jogging, things like that. So that's a quick little tutorial on how the pelvic floor works and what it does for us. But if it's tight, if it's hypertonic, then it's not able to receive the breath. It's not able to let the organs have their beautiful massage so we can help them do the work they need to do to keep us feeling well. And if the pelvic floor is tight, it might mean that we're breathing more into the chest. Now you can just do an experiment now to feel how your state of mind changes when you're just breathing in your chest. If you put your hands on one hand on your chest and the other hand on your upper belly, and try to tighten your belly, just hold your belly in and just breathing into the chest. You'll notice, I notice after just 3 or 4 breaths, I start to feel a little anxious. And I feel like I can't breathe fully, which makes me feel more anxious. So there's this doubleness of, I physically feel anxious because I can't breathe. And then my mindset is like, oh my gosh, I can't breathe. And that makes me even more anxious. So the more that we can release the pelvic floor and let it work in concert with our breathing diaphragm, we can breathe well. We can feel balanced in our physiology. And we can have a healthy mindset because we know that we are working at our best. Our most optimal breath will give us our most optimal mind. And so it's important to release your pelvic floor if it's tight so that you can feel well. Now, obviously, because the pelvic floor is a system of muscles, they can also be hypotonic, meaning too loose. It's a whole other conversation. In that case, you need to work to tighten the pelvic floor to bring it back to a state of balance, which can then help to heal a pelvic floor prolapse or things like that. But right now, what I'm focusing on is a tight pelvic floor, which is unfortunately a common condition for a lot of stressed people, especially if these people sit for long periods of time. So I'm going to link to the end of this video, a video that you can explore to learn more about this, and a video of practices that you can do to release and get to know your pelvic floor, because I want you to feel well. I want you to feel clear in your heart and your mind so that you can be productive with your energy and how you show up and be influential in what you bring to the world. Okay, so that's the connection between your pelvic floor, your breathing, and your state of mind. We don't want to build up of toxins in the body biochemically, because that can bring us to a state of a toxic mindset. And so the more that you can stay balanced, the more you can stay balanced in your mind. Take a breath with me, feel the beautiful movement of your diaphragms, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment below on what you learned in this video, and be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can be the first in line to get my material to become clear, productive, and influential. Thanks. Check out these extra videos.